Welcome to Dartsmans' Key Secret Life. Please welcome your host, the First Lady of Newcastle gay scene. A man who is not afraid to speak the truth. Who's not afraid to admit he's far from perfect. Who's kind, considerate. Who won't let anyone bring him down. It's Dartsman.
Well, it's the turn of the tables this week because this chap interviewed me a while ago about my ghost box sessions, but I was reading online that he is doing a charity roof sleeping event. So the man himself has joined me. Hello, Mr. Jamie Boyle.
Always a pleasure, Dartsman. Myself and Alex did it about, what year? 2025. So it was about 2023.
Right.
We raised 760. I think we've got 60 at the minute, but listen, it's for a wonderful cause, the Bob Reid Foundation.
Yeah.
Alex, he's known for, his cage fighting, his connections to salacious ladies. He was an actor. He was in, what was he into?
Big Brother.
He was in Hollyoaks. He was on Gladiator. Obviously, he's been around, been in a few films, and what he does in the background is really commendable. So obviously, we've been kind of friends for about 5 years, and the Bob Reid Foundation is something kind of close to my heart. It's just it's a pleasure. So I'm going to be sleeping rough under the stars. Sleeping bag, cigars.
Where will this be taking place?
So I'm going to do one night in Camden, which is North London, one night in the East End, and then 2 in Soho. Kind of documenting the whole thing. I've kind of, I suppose, filling the time up, if you like. I've got people to see, Jack the Ripper experts, boxers. So I'm kind of trying to make the best of a bad situation. We did it.
Have you spent a lot of time preparing for it, etc.?
No.
Just thrown in at the deep end.
Yeah. So as I said, we did it 16 months ago, and it was freezing, and I mean really, really cold. It was December, for God's sake. So
did you have
obviously,
blankets around you?
I've got a sleeping bag and that, and I suppose in dark situations, the best thing to do is find humour. So
because that's what gets you through it, doesn't it? Because it keeps your mood up.
Of course it does. So the important thing is to kind of keep smiling and just have a laugh. So I'm I'm sure it'll be comical, and I'm meeting some interesting people, and I'm fascinated with London anyway. I dare say I'm probably obsessed with it.
So how long will you be sleeping rough for?
4 nights.
How long will you be sleeping rough for?
4 nights.
4 nights. Lovely.
Yeah.
Well, not lovely, but I think you know what I mean. But as long as the weather's dry and you're not going to be in the middle of a thunderstorm or rain or something like that, because will you have a tent to sleep in, or?
No, just a sleeping bag. A friend of mine, so he has a boxing gym in the East End, so he's kind of letting me shower.
Right.
But other than that, just sleeping bag, and it's just crack on.
Are you not worried that people might attack you if you're sleeping on the streets, because sometimes people get assaulted?
Do you know something? London is Whitechapel is, I did a book on Jack the Ripper, And how long ago was that now? 137 years ago, they started this month. You know, people talk about Jack the Ripper killings, he killed 5, but in total, we don't know. But obviously there was 5 unsolved murders, and the first happened this month, 137 years ago. And do you know something? It's not any, you know, if you went back in the Victorian era, if you like, the Autumn of Terror, you know, there was pimps and muggers and all that. But, you know, I mean, as soon as it gets dark, it's full of heroin dealers, crack dealers, prostitutes, muggers, pimps. The only thing, I suppose, to answer your question, is London's such an unforgiving place, so nobody really cares about you. So basically, nobody. So nobody bats an eyelid at you. So nobody's interested in you. So you know, if you're kind of
do what they do.
Yeah, so if you're kind of in a sleeping bag in the shop doorway or whatever, nobody cares. So, you know, and that's the thing, is nobody really will literally look twice at you. You know, Newcastle or Sunderland or Middlesbrough, as the further up north you go, the warmer and friendly the people are. So, you know, I mean, I've had 1 or 2 things down there, but I don't know. I can kind of look at
physical.
Yeah, I have, but I can look after myself without sounding a bit of a knob. But yeah, I do tend to. I'm old enough and ugly enough to be able to look after myself. But as I said, to answer your question, no one really cares, Dartsman. So nobody's.
So from what it sounds like, you're like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde type thing when you say good and bad stuff about you.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I suppose. I mean, you've obviously. I've read and I saw what happened to you, and that was pretty horrendous. And
it was,
you know,
but
absolutely,
you know,
absolute.
I'm starting to get to the point where, you know, when people keep on like recognizing me, saying, "Oh, you know, what happened with such and such." But obviously, it's still under investigation, so I can't really, like, you know, talk about it much. But as I say, they did the decent thing, and you know, they pled guilty, and obviously, now that they're going to get, you know, the appropriate punishment, you know. So, as I say, it's onwards and upwards.
Yeah, do you know what? And I mean, as I said to the week, I think I'm a firm believer in God puts these people on earth right in front of you to teach you on how not to be. So, you know, when the time comes and they're in court and they're being brought to justice for this despicable behaviour, you know, it's them who's going to get the fate, or the infamous, if you like. And
especially,
you know, and you're going to
be a video that's, you know, broadcasted around the northeast and outside the northeast, which is just under 250,000. And that's like a viral video.
Wow.
And I didn't expect it to go like that. But
yeah,
I didn't want to come forward, but I had to, because I didn't want it to happen to anybody else.
Yeah. And the thing is, as well, you know, if these people basically need bringing to justice, and I mean, I dare say, what are they in the 30s or something, you know, so there will become a time. I mean, I'm 45 next week, and since I hit 40, I kind of, you got to that age where you reflect, and there's a lot of, you know, you do think back to some of your behavior, and you think, oh God. And the mind's a funny thing. Do you know what I mean?
As they get older.
Yeah, you know, guilt, it does play on you. You know, I've done a few things years ago. Obviously, I never went out and mugged people and that, but, you know, there's some stuff I'm really deeply ashamed of. And when you come and it will, you know, maybe they won't, maybe, you know, maybe they will lack empathy. I don't know. But you know, drugs plays a huge part in our society. And but yeah, listen, I think whatever happens, him above and certainly the courts will put into place, and you've just got to get on with your life, Dartsman. But you know, it's
slowly but surely, but I'm getting there.
Yeah, absolutely. So good on you, you know. So
thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, listen, I don't want to sound callous and a bit cold, but there's a lot worse things happen in life, and
Yes, there is. You're right.
children die of cancer and
Murdered.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So you're still here, and you're still battling on, and it's good to see your channel. I watch some of your stuff, and
thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity. So myself and Alex will be in Camden on Friday.
Can people donate for charity? Have you got a GoFundMe page?
Yeah, so we've got a GoFundMe. So we've raised £60 so far. So you're very kindly going to put the link in the video.
I am, yes.
And I mean anything,
to those watching, if you want to donate to Jamie and Alex's charity event, Sleeping Rough, I will attach the description in this episode once this interview is over. And obviously, I will get Jamie back on at some point to let us know how it all went and how much he was able to raise. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Always a pleasure. As I said, I come across you a couple of months ago, and we had a chat the other month, and I'm sure we'll do a few other things.
Absolutely.
And so what I'm going to do, I'm there for 4 full days, 424 hours. So I think I'm probably going to do about 50 to 70 videos. So yeah, the whole experience will be documented, and something. I mean, this sounds really terrible, but it's from the heart. But obviously, we slept rough a couple of 16 months ago. But if I was in that situation, the government made a statement about a year or two ago, saying tents, you can't live in tents, it's illegal. And it's that's a massive insult. That's a real kick in the what, because these people, there isn't a life choice. And something, if that was me in that situation, I actually would put myself in prison. Yeah, it's very, seriously, prison, warm cell, 3 meals a day. When you, particularly in freezing weather, and you're
and that's what people resort to do because they've got no choice, even though they're not really proud of what they're doing. They did it because they need to survive. And obviously there is a lot of cold, people out there that's really, that don't give a shit about people that are not necessarily drug addicts, or they've lost everything and they're freezing to death on the streets. Even if it's just giving them a blanket, giving them a room for the night, it's nothing, small things like this.
Yeah, it's terrible because, as I said, do you know something? I mean, obviously society, London's terrible for homelessness, and but as I said, if I was homeless, I mean, one, I'd get a dog straight away. Because that's an investment. People just chuck money. I see people, and even if I don't want to, I give the money to the dog. And two, it's very sad. It's very tragic. It's I wouldn't go to London, or London would be my last place. If I was going to live rough, I'd go and move to Newcastle or Glasgow or somewhere. Do you know what I mean? Because I think as you go further up north, people have more empathy and compassion, and
and especially the likes of Sam Fender. He's a believer in helping people who are homeless, because he's donated money to the North East homeless charity organisations, and he wouldn't want to see people suffer in those circumstances.
Yeah, it is, honestly. I mean, I've did it for 4 days, and I might have did it even there over the years and that, but I couldn't for the life of me to begin to think, hang on a minute, this is my existence, this is my life now. Because, this might sound really...
Hello to Sam Fender. If you're watching this, Sam, Jamie here is going to do a charity rough sleeping event. So if you do want to, give a donation or give Jamie a shout out on one of his social media pages, by all means. I'll send the links into the description after this.
Yeah, thank you. And I just couldn't imagine for the life of me that life. Do you know what I mean? I'd just be But you know something, Dartsman, is when I look at them, right, and you know these people, they weren't just born the way they are. They didn't just think, oh well, I'll go and live on the streets or become a drug addict, or you know I'll go and sleep in a shop. We as people, right, we're all one massive, huge, catastrophic event away. Your partner might die, your mum might die.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what's happened, you know, and it's like,
corner, do you?
Sorry?
You don't know what's around the corner.
Do you know, life humbles you as you get older, and you know, and then you start, as I said, I mean, I'm 45 next week, and you know, since I kind of became 40, you look for the answers. You think, why you like that? Why you behave the way you are? I mean, I've done some books on some slightly different characters in life, some really disturbed individuals, and I like the psychological aspect. You know, why was he the way he was? Why do you behave the way you did? And you know, if Mrs. Boyle left me,
I did that Fred West ghost box session, and obviously when I asked the spirit box, I said, Frederick West, what do you think caused you to behave the way you did? And he came back saying Anne McFall, who was one of his lovers, and he said his parents as well was the reason why he was this way. But as I say, you do get some spooky answers.
Yeah. I mean, I'm grossly, hugely fascinated with what you do, Dartsman. But yeah, it's a sad state of affairs in life that, you know, unfortunately, and you know, if I was homeless, damn right, I'd be sat boozing and drinking bottles of wine or drinking White Lightning or Special Brew. Of course, that would be like, you know, it's like back in Jack the Ripper's era. You know, everyone, you know, in the 80s.
Don't mess about with Jack the Ripper because it'll come back 10 times worse on you, apparently.
But, you know, so obviously, you know, there was like crack cocaine in the 80s, and these days in America, everyone's addicted to, what's that drug called?
Speed.
No, it's crystal meth. And then obviously these days, a lot of people are on spice. So in Whitechapel, gin.
I wonder why people are going, you know, like that all the time. That's because they've taken spice, or they're going like that.
Yeah. And do you know, they'd sell gin with straw, and straw was to sleep the hangover off. And I'm not talking about gin what you might drink or you might buy from the shop.
Yeah.
I'm talking about gin like brewed in a bathtub. And it's literally pence to buy.
By the way.
And you know, a lot of Jack the Ripper's victims had a lot of teeth missing, and it would literally make the teeth fall out. But their life was so miserable that, you know, and imagine living on the streets. These weren't sex workers, what you see in Soho, or, you know, they're doing it for greed and all that. These were people, you know, so the going rate was 4 pence, which is about £7 in today's society. And basically, if you didn't indulge in sexual activity, then you literally slept on the street. So very tragic, very sad. And you know, me kind of doing that for a couple of days, it does, like, you know, because there is times where you think, oh, sod this, I just want to, you know, I mean, want to just go and sit in a pub and get drunk. People like that, they haven't got that luxury. And it's very thought-provoking. It's a very powerful thing, and as I said, you understand your own mortality, and you understand human nature a lot more, you know, because it could be me next, it could be you. You just don't know what life's got around the corner, Dartsman.
It's like a box of chocolates. You don't know what you're going to get.
Absolutely. So yeah, I'm off. Well, I'm going to be Friday in Camden, Saturday in Whitechapel, Sunday in the city, which is like the posh part, and then Monday I'll probably be in Soho, and then back Tuesday. So I'm sure it'll be an enlightening experience. And
you never know, you might come across Jack Jones TV.
Yeah, I've seen him around. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot.
He's a little shit.
Well, do you know what I mean? It's. Do you know? I did an interview a couple of. Have you seen the Geordie African or the African Geordie?
Vaguely, yes. When I say vaguely, I think it rings a bell.
And the thing is, in society, Dartsman, in the 21st century, you can become rich by meeting the right people or going out on the streets and putting a camera in front of people's faces. And we live in a world where anyone can kind of become famous or infamous or notorious. And I always really applaud people who go out and they do something and buskers. You know what I mean? It's like they're actually
before buskers playing all the accordions and or like singing on the mic or playing the guitar or what have you.
Those people are my heroes. Do you know? And it's like I really take my hat off to them. But yeah, listen. I'll come back on maybe next week or two or whatever, and I can tell you all about it. Keep following my channel, War Cry Publishing. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to. When I come back, mate, we'll have a catch up and I can tell you all about it.
Ghost box session sorted as well.
We need to do that as well. Yes, of course.
Absolutely. Jamie Boyle, thank you so much for coming back on air, and I shall see you soon. And good luck with your event.
I'll see you in a couple of weeks, Dartsman. God bless. Always a pleasure, sir. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you. That's it for this episode. I'll see you again soon. From the two of us, until the next time, goodbye. Yes, Queens.